So by the end of this video, we'll be able to create this checking availability route for our booking setup for Vapi. Welcome now to lesson 2 of this build. In the first lesson, we focused purely on the booking part, which was this right here. So that's what we built out. And in lesson 2, we are going to be completely from scratch, focusing on checking the availability and creating a deterministic workflow, which is the best practice currently. If you do want to catch up and build this out first from lesson 1, I'll drop the link to the video right now. So just a quick demo of what we'll be building towards the end. We'll have this workflow done exactly how I have it here. And the idea is to check against a specific day that the user requests. So in here, I have 2 slots that are taken. I have a 9 a.m. and a 4 p.m. slot. So when we check availabilities here, it should say that we don't have those slots available. So it didn't say not, it gives us 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, and 12. And we can actually change how many total slots we get back. So we can get the whole day if we want to. But for now, the idea is that it works for that specific day. Let's start off with when clicking execute workflow trigger. Then we'll start off with the Google Calendar. And then the one that we want is the get mini events. We select the calendar here. We save. And just click on run and just see what happens. So here, what it did is it retrieved the 2 busy slots that I have, which are here, right? And that is all we can do with this module within n8n. We can't get free events. It's just busy events. So these are the times that are taken. So then, how do we get around it? There's a few ways, and I think straight from the get-go, I actually want to set it up with our placeholder for Vapi. So let's set it up like this. And in this set module, basically all I had was just to request the time, and I pasted in exactly like this. So I upload this video, I'm just going to paste it in, and you guys then change these dates to whatever you want to check. For you, most likely, you could be watching this 3 months from now. So that would be then, December. Yep. So then what we want to do is grab this and then grab the requested time of the user. And let's just execute previous workflow. And we drag this and then drop. Now, when we drag and drop this, it will start the search from that time forwards. So in my case, I think it would only give me the 1 slot right now. So let's check. It should give me the 4 p.m. slot. Yep, there we go. And another issue that's one issue. And the second issue is that when we have multiple events happening in a day, so let's change this time to, let's say, include starting from 9. When I run this, I'm going to get 2 events, and then n8n is going to run 2 events in a row, or 3 or 4 or 5. And that will then go through each one of our next nodes that many times. So we want to stop this by using an aggregate module. So I just did it fairly quickly, but I pressed tab and then I typed in AGG and I found this module right here. Right. The next thing we want I actually don't want individual fields because that'd be annoying to grab all these individually. And there's a drop down here, and the one we want to select is all item data into a single list. This will then grab this, and then here we can actually all except fields that we don't want. So for example, I don't really care about the E tag. I don't really care about the HTML link. I don't really care about the iCal UID. So like that will then just help our scenario and not keep as much stuff through when it's running. Okay, and now when we run this, now instead of having 2 items of 5, we now have just 1 here with this result. Now the idea is After this here, we then want to grab all this info from this JSON that we have right now. I want to throw that into a code module. I'm actually going to put the code just below in a document, just so you can copy it nice and easy. And what this code is going to do is it's going to grab all the items from the left-hand side. It's going to look at all the busy events, and then it will grab all the available events, and then cross-reference them with the busy ones, and then give us back the ones that are actually available. And once it's done so, it will then output it very nicely for us. And there's some actually cool things that we can use to control it. So in here, for example, we have the times and when we start the day and when we finish the day. That's quite important for it to know, because Google Calendar will give you back all the slots from between like whatever days. And we also need the slot duration. So what the slot duration will do is 0.5 will set it to 30 minutes. So each then booking will then be 30 minutes. If you want it to be 1 hour, you set this to 1. I'll have it set to 0.5. So each booking will be 30 minutes. Another thing that we needed to put in was the buffer. Oh, there we go. The buffer is right here. So I've got it set to 60 minutes. So if someone calls right now and they say, I want the booking right now, it would actually do a buffer for us. So in here, you can set it to 60 minutes or 120 minutes, and that will give it a buffer of that many minutes so that a person can't just book straight away. Right. So now when we run this, it now will give us the available slots for that day. For example here, these are the slots that it gave me. So now if I, let's say, put an appointment here for 11, as you guys saw here, 11 was free, but now if we run this, it will say that it's not. See, now 11 isn't an available slot right here. So far so good. So I'm going to pause there for a little bit and just summarize what we've done so far. So we've got the trigger node, we've got the Vapi holder, and you guys have to just come in here and change the requested time to what you want. We then grab the get many events, we set up our calendar, we drag the requested time into here. And we haven't played around with this yet, so we're going to have to drag that in there in a sec and change that as well. We then use an aggregate to stop each node running like 3 or X amount of times. And then you guys would have copied this code that I have here, and then just threw it into this code node. And that's actually like the main guts of the build. Now we just want to flesh it out. So there are some days where the result from here will be completely empty. So let me show you what I mean. So let's choose, for example, the 3rd for me, which is completely empty. So if I choose that day and I execute workflow, see now this comes up as it actually stops running, which is another issue. So in here, what we need to do is click into the module itself, go into the settings, and then click on always output data. So now when we click on execute workflow, it's ran it, but there is actually nothing in here. So what we need to have is a check before we actually do this. So we'll put an if node, and this will be our logic to see whether data, and we could have, this is an array by the way, so I have to pick array is not empty. And this is a check if we are, so this would be not free all day. And if we are not free all day, then it will go true and then go up to this code node where we'll grab all our availabilities. But if we are free all day, then it will go this route, and we're just going to put a placeholder here, a set node that will send back to Vapi later on. So this is now, so the message will send back to Vapi will just say every single slot is available that day. Yeah, I'm not sure what was happening. So now if the whole day is free, it will go back to Vapi without needing to calculate stuff for us. Great, so that's one part of the logic done. The next part of the logic is we could do if a whole day is actually busy. So let's go into our calendar and let's for, this whole day, we're just going to say whole day. And you guys should do the same as well, by the way. Just add in a whole event into the day that you're checking. And then let's now run this and let's change it back to the second, to the day that we want to check. And now that should come back with all slots are busy. So no available slots found, which is really good. So we go if node and then if message string contains no available, then this means all day is busy and this is a busy check. So if it's busy, it will then say, it will go then this route and then tell us that all day is busy, try find another day. And then the bottom line will come back with the actual slots that we have. Okay, so now we run this. Let's see what happens. Should go the busy route now. Perfect. And let's now delete this and see how it behaves. And we run this again. It actually gives us the available slots that we had, which was all these. Okay, so now what I'm thinking of adding is actually mess around with this a little bit more. So I want to drop in and do some kind of extra logic in here. So let's delete the before, and we can now drag and drop this in. So let's say the user chose 12, but it's a few days in front, and then 12 is actually taken. So then they might ask them for like some morning slots. So what I think we need to do is to always check against a specific set time that we're going to have. Changing this so that it always has a start time of my business as a static thing. So something like, you guys can just watch me first and then you can follow along later. JSON requested time, I think to date time, format, and they will have plus quotation marks and then have T09. There you go, that works. And I think we should do the same for the bottom as well. I'm just going to copy this and then we'll go and put it to the most end time of my day, which is 5 p.m. So we'll only search those times, only those times ever. Okay. And I think that would be it. Yeah, that looks perfect. So grab the 3 slots that are taken on my calendar right now, and it's given us back. Yep, that works. I think that's it. And then in the next videos, what we could do is try and build something out of Vapi. So we'll go create the tools, we'll hook these up to some kind of prompt, and then the 4th video will be us putting these 2 tools together with this n8n workflow that we have. So we're going to have a setup that checks availabilities, and then we're going to have a setup that books appointments for us. So yeah, I think that's roughly it, ladies and gents. I'll then leave it here. If you've learned anything along the way, I'd love for you guys to comment with one thing that you learned, that you took away from this video. That's like one of the main reasons why I create these YouTube videos. Anyway, thank you, ladies and gents, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.